G'day, guys. Welcome back to Steeler Nation Australia. Firstly, guys, I just want to say this whole training camp is going crazy. For months and months and months and months, we had nothing. We had to make up rumors, ideas. We had to fish things out of nowhere to be like, all right, what are we talking about? And then all of a sudden, so overwhelming with all the content and the Steelers out there. I follow Steeler channels too on YouTube. I follow a lot of guys on YouTube, like BTSC, Still Underground, Pittsburgh, Here We Go show, All Steelers Talk, Locked On Steelers, all these guys, State of the Steelers. There's like kaboom, content because it's been so quiet for so long. And all of a sudden, it's like an overwhelming rush of Steelers stuff. So today, guys, I just want to talk about three things that are happening in training camp. I think it is day 4. I don't even know. I'm too far in the front. I'm 14 hours in front. So right now, as you're watching, I'm 14 hours in front, and my NFL season I'm 9 hours behind. So every time there's a day in America, I'm sleeping, and then I wake up and I miss 9 hours. But I'm still 14 hours in front. So with that being said, I want to talk about a few things. I want to talk about 3 storylines that are, I guess that stand out to me in a certain way by being a Steeler fan and by being in the Steeler news and heading into the next few preseason games and training camp is well on it. The other day I saw this picture. Brian Batko on Twitter had a picture of Cameron Sutton here signing autographs with the kids and signing autographs with the Steeler Nation. And then what's kind of cool is, and he even says Cam here, Cam is a cool dude. One of the young fellas, Bryce, end up signing his jersey. So not only is Cameron Sutton signing the Steeler Nation fan jersey, interacting with the crowd, he's humble enough to let the young fella sign his jersey and say hello. So that must mean a lot to Cameron Sutton. I love that. I love that Cameron Sutton is on this team. I've always liked Cameron Sutton. I think now he's developing to more of a leader, to more of a vet. He's heading into his 6th year with the Steelers. I think he can play well enough with the cornerbacks with Witherspoon and Wallace and see where he ends up. Maybe he might go on the outside. Maybe he might go on the slot. Maybe he might work well with Millett in there too. I like what Sutton is doing on this defense. He's another leader on the field like Cameron Haywood, Minka, and there's Sutton too in the secondary. Don't forget about Sutton. The other story I wanted to bring up today was Matt Canada. So, the best way I get my stories really is going through Twitter and going through all the sources who actually get to go to camp. I can't go to camp because I'm too far living in Australia, right? This is via the Steelers Depot, Matthew Marzi, right? They wrote an article. I'll try and link the article if I can. And the quote is here from Matt Canada. Matt Canada was on a radio program a few days ago, and he's talking about Mason Rudolph, right? So Matt Canada is talking about Mason Rudolph, and he says this. He's been given a fair shot up to this point in camp. He's made a lot of plays at times. He played very well at times for us, for the organization, and he's got a great shot at it. So that was in reference to will, Rudolph have a chance for the quarterback spot number 1. He's being treated that way, and his history with our players, with our system, in some cases, certainly is a positive for him. So I talked about it yesterday with the Pittsburgh Steelers going through all four quarterbacks. If you saw that, I talked about Trubisky, Pickett, Rudolph, and Oladukin. But focusing on Rudolph here, it does kind of make sense. It does make sense. Rudolph is going into, I think, his 4th year. He's had 3 years, behind Big Ben, 3 years in the Steelers system. We shouldn't, to one example, we shouldn't be surprised that he's doing so well because he's involved in this training camp over and over before, right? He's done it before. It's his system. He needs to go out there and excel. Now, there are some Mason haters out there who can't stand the guy and want him to fail. But if it does the team justice, why not? If Mason goes out there and starts to produce, good quality football and go out there and win, what's the problem? There's no problem. If Mason's our quarterback and we're going to win a few games, I will support him 100%. So, and it's better to have all these players doing well than it is them all doing terrible. But at the same time, there's been reports that Kenny Pickett is struggling. There have been reports that Trubisky is slowly picking it up, but they're new to the team. Okay, they're new to the team. So next story I want to end on this one, or second to last story, is the Mike Tomlin here, our great leader, our coach, Mike Tomlin, Congratulations to the 4 great men who selected for the Hall of Honor class of 2022: Myron Cope, Sam Davis, Ray Matthews, and Heath Miller. I had the pleasure of honoring coaching Heath, and couldn't be happier for him. So I wanted to just look through two things because I don't know. I know who Myron Cope is. He's the broadcaster from 1970 to 2004. Actually, he finished broadcasting when I started watching in 2004, right? He's known for his voice, double yoy, that guy, right? He has a terrible towel. He's the voice of Pittsburgh, right? And the other two guys, I don't know. And of course, Myron Cope has since passed away in 2008, right? But he's famous for terrible towel. We know who Heath Miller is. But I'll be honest, guys, this is part of the fandom. I guess there's a lot of history and lore to it. I have no idea. I have no idea who Sam Davis is. Apparently, I'm looking on PittsburghSteelers.com right now. Sam Davis was a guard from 1967 to 79. So he played like 12 years at guard or whatever that may be, right? I have no idea. I've never heard of Sam Davis in my life. So there is one quote here. It says, he had a toughness that served him very well, said former tight end tackle Larry Brown, also a member of the Hall of Honor. He played with great technique and he was tenacious, and that would be in a battle for the whole game. And Sam was usually going to win that. So shout out to Sam Davis. He actually passed away in 2019 at the age of 75. So yeah, it's this part of the game that the history, because the Steelers have been going since 1933, that we don't know every player. You cannot know every player. The organization is too big. And speaking of every player, the other guy that's going into the Hall of Honor is Ray Matthews, halfback and right end. I don't know if that's going to be tight end or not. So from 1951 to 1959, well before my time. Okay. It says here Matthews was drafted in the 7th round in 1951 draft, 81st overall selection out of Clemson. He finished with the Steelers' career with 230 receptions for 3,919 yards, which ranks 11th in team history. So this guy had a pretty good career, ranking 11th in career history, in team history, right? So, yeah, shout out to these guys, but I just don't know the players because it's so long ago. You'd have to do a whole episode talking about, the history and the lore and the culture to go all the way back to Sam Davis and Ray Matthews. But in that case, it gives me a chance to go over to Pittsburgh and learn more about these guys when I go to the Hall of Honor once again. And shout out to Heath Miller. Heath, we know that guy. All right, guys, one last thing before I end the video. Can Pickens be a rookie MVP? Can George Pickens, picture there on the left-hand side, can George Pickens be the rookie MVP? I'm not going to say anything. You're going to tell me. Can George Pickens be the rookie MVP? Let me know. All right, guys. Thank you for checking out Steeler Nation Australia. Hit that sub, hit that like. I'll see you later. Here we go, Steelers. Here we go.